Bonjour and bienvenue à Le Français avec KJ. I'm KJ and I will be your host. Today we're going to tell a story whilst talking about events that happened before the past tense of our story. It sounds very tricky, but it really is not as complicated as it seems. In order to do this, we're going to have to learn a quick conjugation. So before we even get started, let's do that. Our conjugation today is le plus-que-parfait, and it's used to indicate an event that happens before another event in the past. We have this same thing in English. Let's look at this example and I'll explain to you how. Il a oublié que j'avais vu la carte postale ce matin-là. He forgot that I had already seen the postcard that morning. So j'avais vu would be that had tense in English. Okay, so I had seen it. All right, so here's the thing. We're going to build on this passé composé to make the plus que parfait. How are we going to do that? Let's look at the conjugation. The way to conjugate the plus-que-parfait is to change the auxiliary. So we're going to change the auxiliaries to the imperfect tense. So this would be avoir, this would be être in the imperfect. And what we're going to do is we're going to tack on a past participle to that. Sounding familiar? Very much like the passé composé. And it does follow the same rules of agreement as the passé composé. Okay, so we're going to use the plus-que-parfait in that way. All right, if I can just get my mouth to work today, let's look at some examples. Paul était tombé avant que nous ne l'avons vu. So Paul had fallen before we saw him. Nous étions partis avant qu'elle est arrivée. We had left before she arrived. Tu oublié que tu avais déjà caché ton portable dans l'armoire? You forgot that you had already hidden your cell phone in the closet. All right. So you notice here we have a passé composé, but we also have a plus que parfait. And notice where déjà shows up in this, because it always would follow the conjugated verb. All right. That's something to note. But also notice the agreements. Very important. All right, we're going to work with this a little bit, and we'll probably be using it more in the stories that we write moving forward. But today we're going to focus on it and telling a complete story. So we're not going to give ourselves grace today because we need, first of all, to remind ourselves of our goal, but also because it would be too complicated to write the story if we had to shift it. That would be too much shifting. So we're just going to jump right in. So our goal again is to write 100 words using the passé composé and the imparfait, and we're going to tell a complete story. But we're also going to incorporate the plus que parfait in our story to make sure that we learn how to use that tense. All right. So these are our characters. First, we have Elise. Elise is désorganisée, bonne amie, toujours en hâte. She has a rendezvous. So you can see where her conflict is going to be today. And then there's Bea. Bea is gentille, impatiente et bonne amie. Elle n'aime pas attendre. So, yeah, you can see where this story is going already. Again, not giving ourselves grace, we're just going to jump right in. So let's start with the setup and move to the development and wrap it up. So Elise avait rendez-vous, mais où est mon portable? Elle s'est demandé. Il fallait chercher. Elle ne l'avait pas mis sur le comptoir, elle ne l'avait pas mis sur le canapé, elle ne l'avait pas mis dans son sac. Il fallait chercher dans les endroits moins probables. Elle ne l'avait pas mis dans la cuisine et elle ne l'avait pas mis dans la salle de bain. Frustrée, elle a pris son pull qu'elle avait laissé sur la chaise. Soudain, son portable a sonné. Et voilà, et le voilà dans la poche de son pull. Tu arrives quand? Béa a dit. Okay, so we have our story. It's a situation that I don't know about you guys, but this happens to me a lot, especially when I'm in a hurry. All right, so let's see if we can get this all set up in a presentation. We noticed that we did the setting and the wrinkle in just a few sentences right off the bat. Elise avait rendez-vous. We're using the imperfect here to set the scene. Mais où est mon portable? Elle s'est demandé. We've used dialogue to ask a question. Notice the present tense here and the passé composé, present tense, because that's what she said. Okay? All right. There's her portable. Il fallait chercher. So she had to look for it. And again, this is an ongoing action that's going to probably consume the better part of our story here. All right. Uh, when you go back over this, please take the time to examine those tenses and see if you can explain to yourself, like, why are we doing this? Why have we used those tenses? I know I just explained it, but you can mute me and go back over this story. All right. So, le développement. Elle ne l'avait pas mis sur le comptoir. Elle ne l'avait pas mis sur le canapé. Elle ne l'avait pas mis dans son sac. Il fallait chercher dans les endroits moins probables. Okay, here we've used the plus-que-parfait to take our reader along with us and find out all the things that she is finding out. She hadn't left it on the counter. She hadn't left it on the sofa. She hadn't left it in her bag. So we don't have to actually say that she looked. We can tell you that this is what she discovered using the plus-que-parfait. All right. And again, as you're going back over this, note the use of the plus-que-parfait here. Elle ne l'avait pas mis dans la cuisine et elle ne l'avait pas mis dans la salle de bain. Frustrée, elle a pris son pull qu'elle avait laissé ou elle avait mis sur la chaise. Okay, so there's her sweater on the chair. Now notice, so elle a pris son pull. She picked up her sweater that she had left on the chair. Elle a pris son pull, elle avait laissé or avait mis sur la chaise. She put on the chair. Probably should have written it as laissé, but note the contrast between the plus-que-parfait and the passé composé here. Okay, so yes, this action completed in the past and the action that preceded it. Okay, following along, let's wrap this up. Soudain, son portable a sonné. Et le voilà dans la poche de son pull. Tu arrives quand? Père a dit. And there you have it. Now, notice that there are a lot of different tenses in this part of the story as well. If you can explain their usage, like why did we use the passé composé and why did we use the present tense? Okay. If you can explain these tenses to yourself, you are ready to actually take this material, these verbs, and use them yourself. Okay. Let's keep going. It's important to rewind and watch this video. I invite you to as many times as necessary to master the narration there, to understand exactly what we were doing with those verb tenses and why. Try to write your own short story. You can even include it in the comments if you like. I read my comments whenever I get some, so definitely do that. And I will check them out and give you, some commentary myself. We'll try another story soon. Until then, I would definitely like to thank my Pixel photographers who actually contributed to this video. And until we meet again, a bientôt. Happy writing. Ciao. If you have learned something from these videos, or if you just enjoy listening to and watching us build stories, please like and subscribe. It helps us to get our videos out to more people. Thank you so much. A bientôt.